Hello everyone, it's me, Jason Jericho again. Well, I want to talk about Masters of the Universe Part 2. But before I get there, I want to bring up 2 points of contention here. Right, there's a YouTuber out there driving. Yes, you've got your own personal views you do not agree with my lifestyle and anybody else's, and you've got your valid points or whatever, but please do not, say that this and that shouldn't be in a cartoon. If it's been put in, it's been put in. If they've allowed it, they've allowed it. You've got your personal viewpoints. We have. Please do not bring this up in Masters of the Universe, because that's not what it's like. I don't want to have a go, but I'm just getting this across. And then there's another person. After your video, you brought trans topics up about women, female trans women, sort of doing sports, and they shouldn't do it. You have no right to talk about trans women. You don't know about the issues or anything about them, same as trans men. I'm just getting this across. Unless you know someone who is trans, gay, LGBTQ, then you have something to say, but do not bring it up in this Masters of the Universe Revelations. It's got nothing to do with it. I had just had to say that. It's not a rant, it's just me trying to be civil, saying, look, stop bringing this stuff in, because you're gaslighting the others, and that's where they're being like how they are. You're just making it worse. And I want to enjoy a cartoon, not to be lectured about this, that and the other. Anyway, I just had to get that right. It wasn't a rant, it's just I'm part of that community and I know what's going on. You do not. So unless you do and are part of that, do not talk about it. That's nothing to do with you. That's to do with sports and everything else. You've got your viewpoints, I've got mine. And I'm just going to say that. And this also goes to the other side. Stop gaslighting the other people. Some of you that LGBTQ+ and toxic masculinity keep coming up with. Stop goading them, because it only makes it worse for us. The part of the community that fought like mad to get equal rights and be treated right. You keep doing these and saying these things, it only makes people hate us even more. So please stop doing it. I'm asking you nicely. We need to be able to coexist, not start disliking one another. And the other thing, stop taking personal shots at people that dislike the show or people that like the show. There's no need for all this. And that's all I've got to say. Right, sorry about that, but it had to be said. So what should I say about part 2? Well, it looks like it's going down the route of an Evelyn story arc. And from what we can guess, it's not going to have E-Man available in part 2. Even though Kevin Smith said that was it. But where I do agree with this, it is not continuation of Filmation, because Universal owns those rights, so they cannot continue it off the original series. So it is a multiverse in the Masters of the Universe. Another iteration of the show. That's why the characters are different, and some act a bit different to what we expect. But what can I really say about that? So, and on that makes me feel better. I've got some niggles about this show which don't really work for me. I still give it 6 out of 10 before I start. Right. Now, I hope Teela is slightly different in part 2. And, Adam is critically wounded, possibly dying. But I don't want her moping about in part 2 having to look after Adam. I hope Teela, even if she's a bit angry, confronts Skeletor and wants to get even, not even with him, but try to take him down for what he's done to Prince Adam. He came back from heaven, essentially, and then he gets skewered. That's a wrestle heel tactic move, stab in the back, which I know Skeletor would rather face him at the front and stab him in the chest that way. But this is a different version of Skeletor. The Joker voice is not really working for me. but others it might do. I did enjoy it, but I'm not getting that feeling like I did with the other ones. But that's totally on me. And there was a bit of queer baiting, and I got rolled, you know, sort of reeled in. I'm doing that motion, you know, like when you're throwing a line to get fish. I'm vegetarian, but I don't eat that. And then they didn't go through it, so it's like, what's the point of doing it then? You're only stirring people up. So, oh, and the other article of some nonsense about the power of virtual signalling, and that us fanboys will be crying and they'll lap in our tears. See what I mean? Stop doing that, because it only makes things worse for me and everybody else. Right. Again, Evelyn's going to get a story arc. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe she's going to try overthrow Skeletor. Maybe she'll team up with Teela. I don't believe Evelyn, I mean, she might have some good in her, but you know, Evelyn in every iteration saw Skeletor and saw power, and she wanted it. You know, she met Keldrum, Suave and everything, and you know, something may be going off between Skeletor and Evelyn. I don't know. Who knows? Teela, just the attitude, it's not working for me. But maybe in part 2, she can use that to try and go against Skeletor. Now, I don't know what's going off with Andrew. You know, we need to have a bit more with her. But for her to become He-Man, it don't make sense, because you've got She-Ra, Prince Adam's He-Man. If she holds aloft the sword, will she become a different champion with a different name? Maybe the sorceress will give her a different name. Or will Adam heal and then manage to lift the sword instead of the magic incantation? How this is going to play out, I don't know. Skeletor's got the sword and he's got the power. But if I do recall, if he weakened He-Man enough, he had to use a sword and say by the power of Grayskull to restore himself. Will Skeletor do that? I also don't know. I've got to say, I did enjoy it. The animation, superb, brilliant. Some of the acting, not really for me, such as King Randor going off on one and firing Duncan, and then Teela having a go at them, when the Queen, when she's obviously grieving for her son, which I hope that brings something out of Teela now. You know, will the citizens have a go at her and say, you left your post? Because the villains could easily attack. So what are my hopes for part 2? That Prince Adam will get healed somehow, and that he'll manage to get the sword off of Skelegod somehow. I don't know how he's going to do it. Maybe Teela gets Andrew to get inside Castle Grayskull or Snake Mountain, wrestle the sword off him, get it back to Adam, and then he turns into He-Man. Or is this going down another path? If it's not going to be Andrew that's going to get the power, it's not going to be Prince Adam, are we going to see the heroes from Pre-Eternia Heaven? I'm really puzzled about this. I don't really know what to think, because it's saying it's an Evelyn story. And Kevin Smith and Netflix, bad marketing. I will tell you now, bad marketing. It didn't work. You lured us in, promised us everything and took it away. Again, I've got nothing against strong women. I don't really care what Teal looks like in this iteration, you know. She looks like what she looks. And many female He-Man fans which have said they don't like the look are entitled to that. People entitled to like it or not like it. Don't have a go at each other. Just respect each other's opinions. And don't bring any other stuff into it and personal pot shots and I don't like you because you're like this or you're like this. No. I want a good show, an artist show, and it will give Evelyn to really show who she is. Will they give some characters backstories? Will we find out what happened to Cringer after Adam left? Will Cringer be by his bedside? No, not leaving Adam. Will the Masters reform? I just don't know. I really don't know what to say. Will the Attending Masters reform and try to take down Skelegod? I seriously don't know what to think. You know, I hope He-Man comes back and kicks the hell out of Skeletor. And maybe Teela, now she's getting her sorcerer's powers, can somehow use them against Skeletor to get the sword off him. Now the sorceress has got to tell her daughter, you know, Teela is her daughter. That secret's now got to be revealed. Because, you know, Prince Adam's literally been outed as He-Man. And I hope Teela can somehow get it together, battle Skeletor, get the sword back, return He-Man, and then maybe it'll battle between Skelegod and He-Man, like it was in the movies. Is that the way they're going? Have we been swerved? Is it going to be literally, it said all about He-Man, and somehow Andrew's going to get the sword and become He-Man? Is she a true descendant of King Grayskull? We don't know. I don't know what to think. I will watch it and give my honest opinion. I still collect the figures because that's me. And it reminds me of old times when my dad was around and we opened all the presents. So, I maybe rambled a little bit, but I don't know really what to say on this. You know? I just hope part 2 does something. I will watch it and have a think, and then after it's all over, give my true thoughts on what I think. Until then, we're just going to have to make our own stories of what might happen. Will Andrew become He-Man? Will Adam return to becoming He-Man? Will Skeletor finally be killed off? The action was great. You know, the battle fights were great. The moments between Teela and Cringer, him getting through to her, that was great. The moments between Evelyn and Skeletor, and Evelyn and Orko, that was brilliant. Evelyn stole the show for me yet again, like I said. The bit with Roboto sacrificing himself. Why he said I have emotions at the end, I don't know. Mossman being burnt to death. I wish, you know, that they gave Alan Oppenheimer a bit more to do, maybe with another character. I don't like the Batman voice for Merman. I prefer the like glug glug voice that he uses. And I wish, you know, Mark Hamill could do a slight copy to Alan Oppenheimer's Skeletor, maybe. Who knows? But I'm being a bit positive here, and sorry about earlier. So that's just a bit of my thoughts. That's all I've got to say. I just hope it comes together and we finally get that battle between He-Man and Skeletor that we waited for a long time. Please no more stabbing and killing people. You know? I want to watch a show without death. That's all I've got to say. Anyway guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.